all prepared with everything else, and then I forgot to close the door. Hello again, it's me. 3 weeks in a row, doing pretty good lately. Oops. There we go. Today I'm taking a little bit of a break from Ahsoka's belt, mostly because it's just been reapplying dye, waiting for it to dry, and reapplying and waiting for it to dry. So I've got the last coat of dye on that, and then once it dries, I will be doing some post-processing before cutting and stuff, but like that's not ready to be worked on today. Anyway, today I'm going to be working on an older project. I worked on it a little bit a couple weeks ago, where I was tearing out these guys from my Leia jumpsuit that I've been working on for like 3 years, on and off, mostly off for the last few years. My original plan with these was I had tried to curl these edges over to have that kind of bevel edge, which was not working out because that was not a great idea ultimately. And I also accidentally sewed them on crooked. Thinking about it and doing some more research, I want them to be a little more puffy, so I am adding some lining, some cotton lining on the inside of the pads that I had originally bought to put on the inside of the suit, but when I tried it on with the padding in the suit, it made me look like the Michelin Man, and I was not a big fan of that. So the suit itself is just going to be outer fabric and the lining without any cotton stuff on the inside. I'm blanking on the word right now. But I do want that stuff on these. There's a few of them. These two are the leg parts. They go on my upper thigh. And then there will be, kind of got these all mismatched. 2 for each arm. It's 1 for the upper arm and a smaller one for right around the wrist, I think it was. My plan here is I'm going to cut the cotton batting stuff slightly smaller than these circles, or ovals, I guess is more apt. Then I'm going to sew them on there with the zigzag pattern, as you can see in photo references of her. And once that's done, I've bought some of this stuff. As you can see, it's got that little lip that I was trying to go for before and failed miserably. I will sew these on the inside of it and then turn the edges in before sewing it on the garment. I feel like that'll be a lot easier than what I was trying to do last time. So, let's get started with whoops. Good job. Had it all nice and then fail. Nope. Once. Wow, I'm doing a great job today. It doesn't really help that I'm like got half the table occupied by this belt that's drying. Here we go. That's better view. Okay. We need one of these. Let's see. Can I see it? Not really. Basically, I want the batting to be slightly smaller than this, since it will be folded over. And if I have the batting all the way to the edge and folding it, then I'll have double the batting, which will make it really puffy at the edge and difficult to smooth out, and it's not going to look the way I want it. But I guess I will just cut it to size and then trim, because it doesn't look like I can do it very well the other way. one. And two. This weird extra piece that apparently is just a little funky, whatever. And what I'm doing here is cutting off these smaller pieces. They're kind of too small to use for anything, for any project that I'm aware of, but they're big enough that they could be used for something else, especially if I crumple them up and like use pillow stuffing or whatever. So I have a big bag of small scraps of cotton batting that I just save because that's the kind of person I am. Okay, what's going on here? Excuse me. Small. Yes. little pile. And now I'll just trim maybe like a 1/4 inch off of each of these. Yep. As you can see, a little bit of the fabric all the way around the edge, which will be folded, of course. I think it's the smell of the dye drying. It's making me sneeze. Or it could be anything. I kind of sneeze for no reason sometimes. This one's closer to 1/2 inch, but it's a bigger circle, so it's okay. The measurement isn't super vital. Okay. Now we'll move over to the sewing machine. Get some things out of the way. And I've already figured out the tension for this guy before I started streaming, so I don't need to do that right now. The reason I'm going really slow here is because it's basically got to do a complete 180 turn, which the last time I tried doing this, I failed miserably. It went too wide, looked terrible. So just taking it one stitch at a time so I can get a nice little sharp curve. Perhaps it would be better from this view so you're not completely blinded by the light on the sewing machine. Maybe let's do, yeah, I think that'll be a little bit better, because then I can still get to the foot easier. And then as you can see here with that lighter stuff, I've got those nice little curves, which is exactly what I'm going for. Okay. And then our finished product looks a little something like this. This last one, it got a little small, a little wonky, but I think it'll be okay. Overall, I'm pretty pleased with doing that. Only a couple of them, like that one there, got a little tight on one end versus the other, but like these three look really nice and even. I'm very happy with that. So we will continue. Sorry, my hand is getting a little cramped. Oh, in case you're wondering, the reason I'm doing this kind of like two-turn thing with the hand wheel, that is because that's how I make sure that I know that the shuttlecock bobbin mechanism thing is making a full rotation so that the stitch is completely done. And it's not like half done and then it mucks it up and it makes it look bad. Also, the reason I'm not doing back tacks at the start and end of these is because I am anticipating covering up these stitches with the edge. This one got a little short, but I think we'll be okay. You know, one of these will get covered up with like the communicator wrist thingy and the Hoth build, but I mean, if it doesn't look good and they catch me on it when I submit to Rebel Legion, I will just tear it out and fix it. So, 2 down. Sorry, just checking the camera view to make sure you can see, because it's kind of to the side of where I'm looking. Made that one a lot smaller. Lifted too high. Okay, there it is. If the needle's not all the way down, the fabric can move around, which would mess up where my stitches are. batting keeps getting caught on my foot, which is causing it to get stuck. There we go. Yeah, this is weird extra stuff. It's kind of coming apart. So we'll just snip it off. It's like half attached to the rest of it. There we go. Make it a little neater. Partially also why it kept getting caught on my foot. There we go. Yep, things are getting a lot more even. Some of them are not quite the same size, but I think it's getting a lot closer than it was on that first one. Okay. Next. Sorry. My foot got itchy. guess what, to further explain, my original plan for these was to do all this back and forth zigzag while I was sewing it on the actual jumpsuit, which means I'd be having to do all of this flipping it all the way around, back and forth with like all the whole garment attached, because I was a fool. Like, maybe if I did this before I attached the legs to the rest of the bodysuit, or before the arms were put together, I could have managed it, but I did not. A little close to the edge there. The first one, first one. It's a little wide, but the rest are pretty uniform. I'm satisfied with that. They're starting to look like weird little footballs because they curve inward. All right, now for the big ones. trying to keep all the extra stuff not from blocking the camera and failing. Guess we'll try and switch views for this for now. There you go. Yeah, no, that is way too cumbersome. Sorry. We'll just have to back her up. There we go. Oops. Forgot to put the foot down. Yeah, that, I might be able to pull that. We'll have to find out. Okay, made a mistake. See right here, I forgot to put the put down and I took a stitch, and that is what happens. It doesn't pull it very tight. So let's see. Okay, I think I'm just gonna have to cut it back. Okay. Looks like it's gotten itself into a little knot. Let's try. There we go. Okay. Now normally to do this sort of starting back in the middle fix, I would do the trick where I tie a knot and stuff, but that's really hard to see on the back with all the batting. So I'm just gonna leave these two little, you can see, there they are. Leave these two undone and see if I can keep them steady and maybe tie a knot with the longer beginning threads. Oh, I'm doing this backwards. Forgot I was sewing from the other direction. I know you can't really see what I'm doing here, but it is trying to get them in the same holes that the threads already are in. So, okay. Here we go. definitely going over the edge of the batting here, but the batting is a little bit short on one side and thin, so I think it'll look okay from the other side and more even this way. Sorry, getting a little cold, put my sweater back on. What is this running into? It's the other one. Oh, sorry if you can hear a little bit of a noise in the background or occasional yelling. That is my roommate, whose room is right next door to my right. I can hear him. I don't know if the microphone's picking him up or not. I just thought I'd put that out there. Okay. Let's see. Make it so I can actually see. There we go. Yeah, looking pretty good. These need a little bit of tightening. Yeah, and then pull the thread to the back. And tie this in a little knot. barely see where the stitches have overlapped there because I got them just about in the same holes. Other than that, it's looking pretty even, pretty good. I ended up tightening the tension part way through, which looks a little nicer. It was okay on the smaller ones, but yeah, it got a little weird here. Okay, one more to go. Don't want to see the little foot in this shot. There we go. Okay. Make sure this is even. It got a little moved. Got moved a little when I was sewing the other one. Something's up. Yeah. Not sure how this happened, but it got messed up. Sometimes that happens. You can usually feel when the machine goes wrong as you're sewing. Oh, that line got really crooked anyway. All right. Go. So I'm going to tear it back to here where the line started to go crooked. I'm going to use the awl so I don't have the tiny short threads like that last one. That way I'll have longer threads that I can tie in a little knot better. There we go. Sorry, trying something a little different so that the foot isn't in the way as much. It's this way. Sorry, I got turned around. Sorry, trying something with the camera. Didn't work. Well, that knot just came untied. Let's try it again. Sorry, I am probably completely blocking what I'm doing with my hands, but this is really hard to do unless you're basically seeing it completely from my eye's point of view. And I don't have a way of putting the camera on my eyeballs. Come on. Plus all this cotton is getting in the way. I'm just pulling that instead of the threads. There we go. Okay, all the knots there. It's not the tightest, but whatever. Let's see. And so it's a lot easier to do with much longer threads. There we go. Sorry, the cotton's getting stuck on my foot again. Okay. Looking pretty good. Got a little eager over here. I could have gone a little farther, but I managed to make it look even on the other side. So I think I'm okay. Definitely getting better at those loops as I go along. They look so much more even now. I also was taking care to make them much wider with these bigger ones, which may have helped that. Okay. So the next step, turn around, see me talking. Next step is these guys. So what I'm gonna do is, in order to make it so that when it's finished, I basically have them on the outside here, I'm going to sew them on top with the wrong edge meeting, so that when I fold it and sew it, I can sew it right here when I sew it on the garment. Or I might sew that beforehand just to make it easier on myself. But we'll find out. See what works best. Okay. Back to the machine. And let's start it. Sorry, of course the little adjustment thing's on the opposite side of where I'm sitting. Tilt that way. Okay. Really far on the edge there. This is basically just a basting stitch, so I'm not going to try and make it look as nice. And it's going to start over and leave that there. Oh yeah, I forgot. I planned to switch it to a zipper foot, a spinner, and then I forgot to do that. Where's my other screwdriver? As you can see, this foot's a lot smaller, which makes me able to get closer to this edge without having to run it over, which is what ran me off the edge with the other foot. Let's see. I can adjust that. Oh, okay, yeah, no, that's what I need to do. Because I can adjust this back and forth, but then the needle ends up piercing the foot. But there's a little notch here that I can, oh, kind of went into the, yeah, it's not guaranteed. Can't tell which way I'm turning, and either way is really hard. There we go. Okay, I think that's where I want it. Let's try this again. Okay, that's way closer to the edge than what I want. So you can maybe see what I'm doing a little bit better. There we go. Just trying to get it so that my hand is not totally in the way. There. Okay. I think we got a good view now. Nope, 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 don't fall. Sorry, I like suck at this so bad. that stitch probably just fucked itself up. Sorry, I'm trying to get it to line up just right. And here you can kind of see what it's going to look like. Of course, put it up to the light and you can see the 2 pencil marks from the back, but hopefully that will not be the case with the garment behind it. It'll look a lot like this. I'm not sure if I'm very happy with the ending part, but maybe I'll have to go back and hand stitch that together so it's a little smoother. It's the best solution I can think of. But other than that, that looks pretty great. We'll move on to the next one. Looks like I played bobbin chicken and one there. Because my bobbin just ran out. Oh, huh. Yeah, there was that funky noise right there. That's, again, not the greatest looking thing in the world, but this is just basting. So it's holding okay, I'm not going to worry about redoing that because it's just going to be folded over and sewn again. Okay, so let's look at me for the bobbin part because it's a whole process that I have to do on most of my machine that I can't really just set up the camera to show you without holding it like way back here. Well, let's see, we can try and do. Trying to figure out a good spot for it. Here we go. This actually might work better. If I can do it without making the camera fall over. There we go. This is the boring part of sewing. My machine isn't fancy enough to have an automatic bobbin winder, so I gotta do this every time. I had this, there we go. It's like I had it. Why isn't it staying? Okay. Next thing. do like how it keeps focusing on my hands and not the sewing, but whatever. funky there at the end. accidentally sewed it to itself. I'll just cut that part out. Okay. 2 left, which I think my one piece of tape is not quite long enough for a whole thing. Yeah, not quite. So I'll put that aside and open up the second package. That's not great. You can see one of my little notches through the bottom. So I'm going to go back and sew it a little farther in. You can still kind of see it, but it's a lot better. I think it'll be okay because the stuff underneath it's also going to be white. There's like a little piece of pink. It's not great. All right, almost done. One left. Oops. Here. Oh, I'm gonna have to watch out for that guy. Move it a little inwards just to be on the safe side. Sorry, the thing was falling down by my feet. The wound up tape, that is. dang. Right at the finish line there. And it had to fall. Okay. And there's the last one. Ta-da! Looks like I got just enough tape because there's only 2 small things left. So that was happy coincidence, accident, whatever. I think that's going to be it for today. Thanks for sticking around. If it is actually the same one person who's stuck around, or it might be just like a few people filtering in and out, whatever. Thanks for watching my stream. I will try to be on again next week. I will try to be closer to the, scheduled time that I put on my profile, which I have yet to actually accomplish, even though I made it later in the day. I'm not sure what I'm going to feel like working on next week. I've got a couple of different projects in the work. You can always let me know what, sorry, getting distracted by loose threads. Let me know what you'd like to see me work on. You can check out my social media profiles to see the different projects I've got in the works, other stuff I've made in the past. Once I actually finish something for the first time since the beginning of the pandemic, it's been a rough couple years, then I will probably schedule some time with a photographer friend of mine and do some cool photos of the finished product, that is. And I will be at Grand Con later on, it's not March yet, next month, and PCC in April. Like I said, like, subscribe, all that fancy stuff. I will see you next week. Thanks. Bye.